There is a warmth around you right now that you may not have fully noticed yet. It feels like a soft and steady energy moving near your presence. It is not loud or overwhelming, but it is there in a quiet way. It carries a feeling of admiration and emotional attachment. You may have brushed it off as coincidence or thought your mind was playing tricks on you. You may even have told yourself that things like this do not happen to you. But what you have been sensing is not random. What your heart has been picking up is not just imagination or false hope. It is something that feels real in a deeper emotional sense. There is someone younger than you who has developed feelings that go deeper than you might realize at first. This is not a short interest or a passing attraction that fades quickly. It feels more steady and lasting than that. If you feel a special connection with someone younger right now, you might have noticed how your thoughts keep returning to this idea. You may even feel unsure whether to take it seriously or dismiss it completely. In their mind, these feelings are not temporary. They seem to stay with them throughout the day, from the moment they wake up until they fall asleep. Even when they are busy with other things, thoughts of you return again and again. You remain present in their mind in a way that feels natural to them. It is not forced. It is something that has slowly grown into familiarity and emotional focus. At times, they may feel calm just thinking about you. At other moments, they may feel nervous or unsure of how to express what they feel. This mix of emotions creates confusion for them, but the feeling itself does not disappear. You may even wonder what someone younger could see in you. You may question yourself and think your best years are behind you, or that your value has faded over time. These thoughts often come from old experiences, disappointment, or emotional wounds that have not fully healed. But those thoughts are not the full truth of who you are. They are only reflections of past pain and not a complete picture of your present self. There is something about your presence that leaves an impression on others, even if you do not notice it yourself. The way you carry yourself, the way you listen, and the way you respond to people can leave a quiet impact. Others may see strength in you that you have stopped recognizing. They may notice emotional depth in you that you consider normal because you live with yourself every day. This younger person seems to notice these things more than others. They may feel drawn to your calm energy, your way of thinking, or the sense of safety they feel when they are near you. When they are around you, something in them feels more relaxed. The noise in their mind may quiet down for a while. They may feel more understood, even without many words being exchanged. You may not always notice their behavior, but there could be small signs. They might look at you longer than usual. They might soften their tone when speaking to you. They might find reasons to be near you, or start conversations that do not seem strictly necessary. They may also remember small details about you that you thought were unimportant. These small actions can come from genuine attention and interest. It is important to stay grounded when thinking about these feelings. Not every connection carries the meaning we imagine, and not every emotion points towards something permanent. Sometimes the mind builds stories around small signals. Still, it is natural to feel curious when someone pays attention to you in a different way. Human emotions are shaped by connection, and connection often starts quietly. This person may feel that you bring a sense of stability into their life. They may see you as someone who feels steady in a world that often feels uncertain or overwhelming to them. At the same time, they may bring a different kind of energy into your life. Their presence may feel lighter, more expressive, or more open in comparison. This difference can create a sense of balance between two people. You may notice that when you are around them, you feel a shift in mood or attention. You may feel more aware, more thoughtful, or simply more present in the moment. They may also feel unsure how you perceive them. If they are younger, they might hesitate or hold back because they are unsure about boundaries, timing, or how their feelings will be received. This hesitation can make their behavior less direct. Instead of expressing things openly, they may show their interest in subtle ways, such as staying close, helping you, or paying attention in quiet moments. It is also possible that you interpret these signals in different ways, depending on your own emotions and expectations. Sometimes what feels meaningful can also be influenced by hope or loneliness or curiosity. That is why it is important not to rush into conclusions. Feelings can exist without needing immediate labels or decisions. They can simply be experienced and understood over time. You may have thought that new emotional connections are no longer possible for you, but life does not always follow expected timelines. People can form connections at different stages of life in unexpected ways. What matters most in any connection is not just age or circumstance, but how people communicate, respect each other, and understand each other's boundaries and emotions. If something is developing between you and someone younger, it should always be approached with care, clarity, and honesty. Mutual understanding is more important than imagination or assumptions. Sometimes emotional attraction grows from simple human moments, like feeling heard, respected, or appreciated. These moments can create strong impressions that stay in the mind. You may be someone who listens carefully or pays attention to details. These qualities can make others feel valued, especially those who do not often feel understood. At the same time, it is also important to stay aware of reality instead of turning small signs into fixed beliefs. Not every emotional reaction from another person means a deep or lasting bond is forming. Still, curiosity is natural. The human mind tries to find meaning in connection, especially when emotions are involved. It is part of how people understand relationships and attachment. If there is any connection here, it should be allowed to unfold slowly and naturally without pressure. Real understanding takes time and requires patience from both sides. There is no need to force meaning or rush toward conclusions. Let things remain simple and clear. Pay attention to actions, communication, and consistency rather than imagination alone. You may still be processing your own emotions while thinking about this situation. That is normal. People often reflect on their worth and their relationships when something new or unexpected enters their awareness. What is important is to treat yourself with honesty and calmness. Your value is not defined by age, attention, or outside validation. It comes from who you are and how you move through life. If someone does feel drawn to you, it should not make you question your worth or create pressure. A healthy connection always feels respectful and balanced. Take things slowly if anything develops. Allow space for understanding instead of assumption. Let time show what is real and what is not. You do not need to convince yourself of anything in this moment. You only need to stay aware, grounded, and honest with what you actually observe in real life. Whatever is happening around you, your experience matters, but it should always stay connected to reality and clear thinking. Feelings can guide awareness, but they should not replace clarity. If a connection is meant to grow, it will do so through mutual openness, respect, and real interaction over time. If it is not, clarity will also come naturally. For now, stay present in your life and let things unfold without pressure. Pay attention to what is real, not just what is suggested by emotion or imagination. You are allowed to feel curious about connections, but you are also allowed to remain cautious and thoughtful. Both can exist at the same time. Whatever comes next, move slowly, observe carefully, and stay true to what you know for certain, rather than what you are asked to believe. Carry this awareness with you today. There is a sense that someone around you may be genuinely curious about your life in a deeper way than casual interest. It may feel like they want to understand your story, not just the surface parts, but the full path you have walked. They may be interested in your past, your struggles, your wins, and the moments where you had to rebuild yourself. To them, these parts of your life are not something heavy or negative. They may see them as proof of strength and growth. Every experience you have lived through has shaped who you are today. Even the difficult chapters may have added depth to your character, and sometimes someone noticing that depth can feel unexpected, especially if you are used to feeling overlooked. There is a kind of attention that does not focus only on appearance or surface charm. Instead, it focuses on understanding a person slowly, through listening, observing, and noticing small details. If someone is showing that kind of attention toward you, it can feel different from ordinary interaction. It may feel like they are trying to understand your inner world, your thoughts, your personality, your sense of humor, and the way you see life. This kind of curiosity often grows quietly over time, rather than appearing all at once. Let yourself stay open to being understood, but also stay grounded in what is real in front of you. Sometimes people show interest in different ways, and not every signal has the same meaning. What matters most is consistency, respect, and clarity over time. There is something healing about being truly listened to. When someone pays attention without rushing you or judging you, it can create a sense of relief. It can remind you that your voice matters and your experiences are valid. You may find yourself remembering parts of your own story that you had pushed aside. Sometimes, being seen by someone else can help you see yourself more clearly as well. If there is a younger person in your environment showing interest or warmth toward you, it may feel both surprising and confusing. You might question what it means or whether you are interpreting things correctly. It is natural to reflect on boundaries, intentions, and emotional balance in such situations. Thoughtful awareness is a strength, not a weakness. It shows you care about doing things in a respectful and honest way. At the same time, not every connection needs to be immediately defined. Some interactions remain in the stage of curiosity and mutual understanding for a long time before anything becomes clear. What matters is how you feel in the presence of this person. Do you feel respected? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you can be yourself without pressure? These are more reliable indicators than imagination or assumptions. Sometimes, when someone pays attention to us, it can awaken feelings of being valued again. It can bring back a sense of emotional energy that may have felt quiet for a long time. This is part of human connection, and it can happen in many different ways. You may also begin noticing small details in how they behave. They might listen carefully when you speak. They might remember things you mentioned casually. They might show interest in conversations that go beyond surface topics, or they might simply seem more present when you are around. These moments can feel meaningful, but they should always be understood in context, without rushing toward conclusions. It is also possible that your mind may fill in gaps when information is unclear. This is normal. People naturally try to make sense of emotional signals, especially when they are subtle or inconsistent. That is why patience is important. Real understanding develops over time, through repeated and steady interaction, not through single moments or isolated gestures. You are also being reminded, in a quiet way, of your own worth, not because someone else notices you, but because your life itself carries value through everything you have lived and learned. Your experiences, including the ones that were not easy, have shaped resilience in you. That resilience often becomes visible to others, even when you do not consciously show it. Sometimes people are drawn to calm energy, thoughtful presence, or emotional maturity. These qualities can feel grounding to those who are still figuring themselves out. If someone younger is drawn to your presence, it may be because they feel understood or steady around you. They may experience your presence as calming or reassuring in moments when life feels uncertain. At the same time, different life stages naturally bring different perspectives. One person may bring stability, while the other brings freshness or curiosity. These differences can create interest, but they also require awareness and balance. It is important to remain honest with yourself about what is real and what is imagined. Not every moment of attention carries deep emotional meaning. Sometimes it is simply kindness, curiosity, or social connection. Still, it is human to wonder about possibilities. It is natural to reflect on connection when someone stands out to you in some way. But clarity grows best when you observe without forcing meaning. If any connection is forming, it should be based on mutual respect, clear communication, and emotional honesty. Without these, assumptions can easily create confusion. You are allowed to take things slowly. You are allowed to observe rather than decide immediately. You are allowed to protect your emotional space while still remaining open to human connection. There is no need to rush toward conclusions about what someone else feels. What is more important is how they behave consistently over time and how you feel in response to that behavior. You may notice that certain interactions make you feel more seen or more aware of yourself. These moments can be meaningful, but they should be understood with calmness rather than intensity. At the same time, your own self-perception matters deeply. Sometimes attention from others can remind you of qualities you have stopped recognizing in yourself. This can be both comforting and emotionally complex. You are not defined by age, appearance, or how others respond to you. Your value comes from your ability to think, feel, grow, and continue moving through life with awareness. If someone shows interest in you, it should add peace, not confusion. It should feel respectful, not pressuring. It should feel clear, not uncertain, in a way that creates anxiety. If it does not feel that way, then distance and clarity are also valid choices. Not every connection is meant to be explored further, and recognizing that is part of emotional maturity. If it does feel balanced and respectful, then time will naturally reveal what kind of connection it is. There is no need to force speed or meaning onto something still developing. Let your focus stay on what is real in your daily life. Let actions speak louder than thoughts or interpretations. Let consistency guide your understanding. You are allowed to remain open without becoming dependent on possibilities. You are allowed to feel curiosity without losing grounding. Both can exist together when you stay aware. Whatever is unfolding around you, move with patience. Observe carefully, trust what is clear, and question what is uncertain. Do not rush your heart into stories that are not fully formed. If something meaningful is truly present, it will remain steady over time. If it is not, clarity will come on its own without forcing it. For now, stay present in your own life. Continue building your strength, your peace, and your understanding of yourself. That foundation matters more than any single connection or interpretation. And as you move forward, remember that being seen by others can be meaningful, but seeing yourself clearly is even more important.